What's up, everybody? This is Greg, host of the Arc of Wrestling podcast, and we are here doing our WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view 2013 review show.
It was a screw job.
It was a screw job, Mike. Everything was a screw job in this fucking pay-per-view. But I think, my opinion, just to get everybody hyped for this show, I thought this was one of the better pay-per-views WWE put on in months. I can even go far to a stretch and say this was better than SummerSlam.
Yes, I agree with you there.
You really want to do that?
Yeah, and we'll talk about it when we get the show going. Let's start off with what was supposed... Okay, let's start off with...
Introductions?
Nah, fuck it, everybody knows who's in here. Wesley, John, Mike, and Hunter.
Yeah, everybody knows who it is.
Yes. Fuck you, Jimmy. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, Jimmy.
And you're not even here.
Yeah, you definitely shut up. You definitely shut up, Jimmy, on this one.
Yeah, Jimmy's going in a corner and crying right now as we speak.
Yep. We were supposed to have Curtis Axel versus Big E to open up the pre-show for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, but before the show actually happened, we got news that Curtis Axel was injured and that they had to cancel the pre-show match.
Yay.
Did the news come out what he was injured from?
No.
He blew out both of his hips.
Was this from house shows or what?
It apparently happened on Monday.
What?
According to the report, he blew out both of his hips in a freak accident, quote unquote.
So they couldn't cancel the match by Tuesday?
I'm guessing they expect. Hopefully he got better, but apparently he didn't.
From two blown out hips? What did they expect us to have him pull John Cena?
Yes. Steroids. No, wait. No. Steroids are legal, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
As long as you have a doctor's note.
As long as you have the mommy's note.
Yep.
Everything will be alright. So, besides of giving us that match, we got Damien Sandow versus Kofi Kingston. I didn't watch the pre-show match. I was not interested at all, but I believe John and Wesley watched it. So, guys, tell us about Damien Sandow and Kofi Kingston.
It was fine for what it is. Sandow won clean.
Yep.
Sandow won clean. Any, did it seem rushed at all? Because I would expect that maybe they would have some freakouts during this match, since it wasn't the match they originally booked.
Not really, actually.
No?
It just seemed like a Kofi Kingston match.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of flippies, a lot of jumpies.
But Sandow went over with the win.
Won over clean.
Alright.
He's got a new finisher, too.
The full Nelson Slam.
Yeah, I forget the name of it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It's not even here, too.
But
we need to mention that Rey Mysterio was on the Spanish commentary team tonight. So the Mexicans actually get something special after years of just getting two Mexicans talking to each other with no real storyline connected to either one of them.
And their table getting broken.
Yeah.
And then, meanwhile, on the pre-show, you have the announcement of the United States Championship match occurring.
Yes.
Because Dean Ambrose was talking shit about Big E, and my man Big E ain't gonna take shit from no man.
Nope.
Because Big E did not have a match booked, he had a match booked. Because the match got canceled, they decided to put Big E versus Ambrose in a match against each other for later on in the show.
Yep.
And they're still calling Big E an NXT rookie, which is weird because Ambrose came from NXT. Well, no, the Shield kind of left before. No, they were still prominent in the early days.
Seth Rollins was still NXT champion when he came up.
So, I don't know. Maybe they just forgot or something. Whatever. We're going to start off with the actual pay-per-view match. The actual pay-per-view. And we start out with the triple threat tag team match for the tag team titles. The Usos versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Goldust.
Best match of the night.
Best match of the
Super good. I enjoyed it.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best spots was Cody Rhodes suplexing, was it Ambrose?
Rollins.
Oh, it was Rollins. Cody Rhodes suplexes Rollins from the top rope into Goldust, Ambrose, and the Usos, who were
Ambrose wasn't out there.
Was Ambrose not out there?
No, it was Reigns.
Oh, it was Reigns. Oh, yeah, fucking Reigns. And the Usos. That was a crazy spot.
Yep.
Holy shit.
When are you going to start putting all three guys in the ring during a triple threat tag match?
I don't know.
Never.
Well, it's not a tornado match.
Well, back in the day when he did triple threat tag matches, they had one guy from each team in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
And you could only tag your partner. You couldn't tag the other partner.
Maybe it's just I would imagine it's a little harder to keep track of everybody when you're behind Gorilla when there's 3 people rather than 2.
Well, if it's that hard, then why have multiple man matches?
But then by midway through the match, everybody was outside the ring anyways, doing their own thing.
Well, the people in the Gorilla position are morons.
Don't call Vince a moron.
I just did. He's not the genius everybody makes him out to be.
I mean, he's only,
70-something years old.
Yeah. He's got a monopoly on the wrestling business.
That doesn't mean he has Alzheimer's.
Well, he could be getting there soon. I wouldn't imagine it.
I didn't say he was retarded. I said he was stupid.
What else?
There's a difference.
Oh, damn it.
What else do you guys like about this match?
Everyone looks strong.
Oh yeah, everybody looked great. Even the Usos. I was saying during the match, wouldn't it be a surprise if the Usos just randomly won it?
That would make no sense whatsoever.
You could make it make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you booked what happened afterwards, makes sense. You could have this triple threat match again at TLC.
Well, I knew the Rhodes weren't going to lose because he just got a new theme song.
That's true.
And teams that just get new themes don't lose.
Yep.
It's fact.
I'm still saying that this theme is better than any other theme.
No.
Makes nothing.
No. It means a lot.
Fuck the Jerry Show. Fuck the Jerry Show theme.
No.
You and your shitty rock band indie music.
The Jerry Show theme was amazing. I don't care what you say.
Oh, Mike.
The next best tag team theme? Matt Morgan and Crimson.
No. What?
No.
Get out. Get out.
Their tag team was amazing.
No.
You're going to have to leave this room right now.
Yeah, even
Mike,
Hunter's telling you to get the fuck out.
I'm going to need you to do me a big favor.
And go.
Drink about half a gallon of bleach.
Well, I hate to tell you, but Strike's not in here, so I have no reason to do that.
Huh.
Yeah, you're right.
Strike. He's probably going to be listening to that podcast, Just to make sure if we call him out or not.
I think he's gone back to listen to all 3 podcasts before, and is like, "Oh, I'm gonna point this out." Dude,
okay,
the
let's not.
That show happened.
Strike.
That show happened 3 months ago. What are you doing?
Let's not shit on Strike.
Why not?
Because
where's the fun in that?
We're doing a podcast, and no one knows what we're talking about.
Screwjobs.
Who fucking gives a shit? Who's listening to the podcast? It's just way much in, anyways. Okay.
We have 80 subscribers on YouTube.
So, okay.
It's 5 more than we had last month.
Is it?
Yeah. So, suck on us.
The last time I looked at our subscriber count was a year and a half ago. So
that's because you never uploaded anything to the YouTube anyway. It was all me.
Yeah.
So suck my nuts.
What else did you guys like about this match?
The crowd chanting "Ooh so."
Nice pace. It was pretty good pace. Not slow at all.
Yeah, it was definitely a really everything looked very planned out. And everything was executed perfectly.
Yeah.
It's amazing how the tag team division has gotten better. Not team-wise, match-wise.
Yeah, definitely match-wise. Team-wise, we haven't had any legitimate tag teams win it, except for the Shield. Because really, the Rhodes family is gonna break up in a couple months anyways.
Well, all tag teams break up eventually.
Yeah, but you don't have a legitimate tag team win it. I mean, we haven't had a legitimate tag team win it in a while, excluding the Shield again. Air Boom wasn't a legitimate tag team.
They had a tag team. They eventually turned into a legit tag team.
Yeah, but then they broke up, like...
Because Bourne got suspended and got injured.
Yeah, fucking idiot.
Blaze it.
If you want to talk about throwing together tag teams, Kofi and R-Truth.
Oh, yeah, Kofi and R-Truth was pretty thrown together.
And then Kane and Daniel Bryan, but then they turned into a legit team.
Yeah.
So...
David Otunga, Michael McGillicuddy. Well, they were going back 2011.
Yeah, they were already in the stable anyway, so...
Yeah. God, 2011, that's when fucking... The NXT was still around in 2011. Or the Nexus.
The new Nexus.
Yeah, the new Nexus with CM Punk. Right before the Summer of Punk.
Yeah.
Right before AJ Styles.
That was literally right when they won. It was like a month right before he did the Summer of Punk thing.
And now we're getting the Summer of AJ Styles.
Yep.
I can't wait for him to. I can't wait for Magnus to win the belt and AJ Styles come out the next week.
Goldust and Cody Rhodes won the match. They retained. Cody Rhodes' Crossroads looks beautiful. I was saying to John during the pay-per-view, I was like, I never really liked how it was implemented or like how Rhodes did it, but like ever since he's gotten this push, he seems very into it now, and he does it a lot better than he ever used to.
That's because he's doing it with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins jumps like 40 feet in the air.
Yeah, like fucking they float in the air for like 3 seconds. It's fucking crazy.
That's why it looks better, because he's actually in the air doing it.
Yeah. So, great match. I couldn't keep my eyes off the match. Maybe a match of the year contender? Or are we pushing it?
We're pushing it.
We're pushing it? Did a lot more better?
Maybe the match at Battleground or the one on Raw. That might be a match of the year thing.
Because they've been, every match that the Rhodes family and the Shield's been in has been 4.5 stars easily.
No Tokyo Dome?
Yeah, no Jackie, no Tokyo Dome. Like, all their matches on Raw have been great. Absolutely phenomenal.
That's what happens when you let people wrestle.
Yeah.
They put on good matches.
The Miz comes out, and he decides he's going to call out the Wyatt family. And then we have Wyatt kind of cut a promo on Titantron, which leads to Eric Rowan and Luke Harper to come in and attack the Miz.
Yay!
But what do we get? The crowd starts chanting his name, and the pyro goes off.
And the crowd dies.
It's gotta be Kane! Because it was Kane. Kane came back. And
no, I thought it was The Undertaker in a Kane mask.
I can't tell.
Due to my
Who's driving the horse?
Due to my displeasure, Kane attacked both Eric and Harper, but then he chokeslammed the Miz. So
that's more of the Miz being at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Annoying.
That's my problem. I think everybody was hoping that Kane would come back with the Wyatt family. It would have been cool, and maybe it would have gave Kane a little bit more push to singles competition.
Yes, because you're seeing 3 rednecks and then a guy in a burnt red mask.
Yeah, that would be cool.
No.
Yeah. They're monsters. They're supposed to be giants. I mean,
the literal embodiment of the devil.
Harper and Rowan aren't rednecks.
What are they then? What is Luke Harper then?
Luke Harper is from blah 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 blah. He's from
blah 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 blah.
He's from New York.
But he still has the gimmick.
And Eric Rowan is from blah 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 blah.
So wait.
Eric Rowan from Minnesota.
Harper's from blah 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 blah. Oh
Minnesota.
God.
Yeah.
So Harper's from blah 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 blah, and Rowan is from blah 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 blah.
No, they're both from the northeast. Northeast.
Minnesota is not the Northeast.
North.
You're an idiot.
That'd be the Midwest.
Midwest, whatever.
But Luke Harper's gimmick wherever he's been is of a dirty redneck.
No, it's a Colts. It's not a redneck stable.
He's wearing the same outfit that he wore in Ring of Honor in Chikara.
Yeah, and guess what? He was fucking booked from Ring of Honor in Chikara from New York. What's the point?
He still had a redneck outfit on.
They're not rednecks. They just have a redneck leader.
Screwjob.
Who doesn't really have a redneck accent in the first place.
Screwjob.
Ladders.
Like,
Ultimate X.
Kane would have fit perfectly. Kane would have added some definition to that stable.
Meh.
And then it could have led to a match later on where he broke up.
Why don't you like the mind control?
Yeah, a mind control quote would have been amazing for Kane.
I've already seen Kane go through a mind control thing several times, so let me see it again.
It would have been better with the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kane comes back. Woohoo! We're gonna see Kane tomorrow. Wah 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 wah. Okay, Summer
You're the
Rae,
greatest host ever.
Summer Rae and Fandango versus Natalya and the Great Khali.
Alright,
I called it.
I take back what I
Tango and Carly were going to have a match.
I take back what I said about the handicap. This was the worst match tonight.
It was a filler match, but it seemed like they were building it up for like a week or so. If you've been keeping up with Twitter and SmackDown, it was pretty much supposed to be between Summer Rae and Natalya. Oh yeah, and this is Summer Rae's debut on actual WWE TV. This is her first match.
It was... Great Khali cannot move for crap.
No, it's his knees. It's definitely like his legs.
Because I watched... Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. I hate watching the Great Khali walk because it hurts to watch him walk.
Yeah, it looks like he's fucking like
He
walking
doesn't
on
bend
stilts.
his knees. It's like watching like a legitimate tree
Yeah,
just walk.
it's
Like,
awkward.
I tried watching him get in the ring, and it took like a good 10 seconds. Like, he had a hard time getting his leg over the top rope.
Yeah.
Like, he should be like a bodyguard, not a wrestler.
Yeah.
That's what he's built for. If WWE should hire any 7-foot-tall person, it should be Othello from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Nobody cares about Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Have you seen? I saw this dude do a perfect bridge. A bridge pin.
Guess
I've
what?
never seen a 7-foot-tall man do that before.
Guess what? I can't watch it because it's only local to California. So
Guess what we got? We got Joey Ryan versus Scorpio Sky.
guess what? So did PWG.
Oh, suck my dick.
Guess what? I have more
Bam.
So yeah, we didn't really. I mean, it was a simple match. Summer Rae rolled up Natalya for the win.
Yeah.
It was very reminiscent of Jericho and Fandango's first match at Mania.
But that match was actually good.
Yeah.
You take that back right now.
It was. For what Jericho did, it was good.
Yeah.
Except for the botched ending.
Yeah. So yeah, Summer Rae, Fandango win. Caitlyn and R-Truth and Dolph Ziggler are talking with Josh Matthews on the panel thing, and may I say, Caitlyn had some side boob going on and was very sexy.
That's not gonna change.
I thought I just had to talk about that for a little bit.
She should be wearing a sweater vest.
Fuck you, Mike. Why you gotta dress the divas up like Arabians?
What?
Yeah, seriously, what are you, an Al-Qaeda right now?
Allah Akbar.
Fucking terrorist?
Oh man, we're already being tracked by the NSA. God damn it.
Good job, Hunter.
I didn't do anything, Mike. You just didn't hate scantily clad women.
She wasn't scantily clad. She had a shirt on with no sleeves. How was it scantily clad? Exactly.
Guys, I think we can all agree on this. Mike hates America.
Yeah.
And everything about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've always been pro Canada.
Dude, I love Canada too!
Oh God, not gonna start hating it. Good job.
Mike hates everything people like. He's like Strike.
No, Strike's just an idiot.
We get the match that was announced in the pre-show, the United States Championship title match, Big E Langston versus Dean Ambrose. For a match that was booked very, last minute, this was a really good match. Yeah. And did it put Big over?
What? Was that even a sentence?
I botched that entire sentence. It put Big E over big time.
Yeah. You know what else? You know what else happened to Big E? He gave him a nasty cut under his left eye.
Yeah.
So good.
Or his right eye, or whatever one it was.
Big E. What was it? Was it like a clothesline?
Their faces collided.
Ambrose apparently had 8 stitches on his chin, and Big E had 7 stitches below his eye. So,
yeah, I didn't know they were bleeding until the ref had his gloves on.
Yeah.
Why has the ref got his gloves on?
Yeah. I completely lost track of what was going on in the match. I was like, whoa, what the fuck is going on now? But that was a great match. Big E's spear to Dean Ambrose, who was standing outside the apron, was fucking sick.
You know who can't?
That looked rough.
Yeah.
You know who can't do a spear through the middle rope?
Oh God.
Oh my God. Who am I?
I want you to ask me who.
Who?
Ryback. Because you know why?
Because Ryback's amazing.
Ryback
He
sucks.
rules. No, he rules.
No, he drools.
He's a Paul Heyman guy, though.
Yeah, he still sucks.
I thought you
How
liked
can
Paul
you hate a
Heyman.
Paul Heyman guy?
Yeah. Why aren't you as smart like everybody else?
Because I'm not that stupid.
Goldberg.
So, Mike, I want to ask you your opinion. After seeing this match, what's your opinion on Big E?
He's talented.
Talented?
I never said he wasn't, but
okay.
He impressed me.
Are you liking him a lot more than you did? Does he need? How much proving ground does he still need to?
He needs to work a little bit more. He needs to work with somebody like Ziggler or Punk or step his game up.
Yeah, I think a feud with Ambrose would be awesome for him.
Then after that, we can see if he's proving himself to carry matches on his own.
Yeah. So that was a great match. Ambrose retained. Ambrose retained the title by countout because he decides to quit halfway through the match or near the end of the match. He left.
This is the thing I hate about title matches now. I like Dean Ambrose and all, but he's got to lose the U.S. title.
Yeah.
I think one of his pay-per-view title defenses ended in pinfall, which he won. 2 of them ended in countout.
Really?
Yeah. The one against Kane ended in countout, and tonight ended in countout.
Wow.
I'm not including the SummerSlam match because that was on the pre-show, not the actual show.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's only won once by pinfall on pay-per-view, and that was against Ziggler. So yeah, it's time for him to lose the belt.
Maybe it. I don't know.
Curtis Axel has defended the Intercontinental title more.
My thing is, I'm afraid because it depends on if they want to continue the feud with Ambrose or if they want to. It depends on how long Curtis Axel is going to be out too. What happens if Axel is going to have to drop the belt because he's out for too long?
It depends on how bad he popped out his hips.
Yeah.
I seriously want to know how he blew out his hips.
Yeah, I really want to know too, and why it was announced so last minute.
Unless he got up so fast to the point where he couldn't control his speed or something.
Yeah.
Or he was running or doing something.
Probably got drunk and fell downstairs.
My
guess.
That's probably what happened. Okay.
He totally got drunk.
Handicap Hell in a Cell match. CM Punk versus Ryback and Paul Heyman. We start the match off with Ryback's... Oh, no, not start. Paul Heyman's nowhere to be found. What we found out is that Paul Heyman is in one of those big... what do you call them? Gurneys, right?
It was in one of those lighting structure vehicles.
It's called a scissor lift.
Scissor lift. There we
Cherry
go.
picker.
Cherry picker. Whatever you want to call it.
I just want to point out that the dude driving it had no idea what he was doing.
So funny. He gets...
He kept going forward and backing up, going forward and backing up.
Yeah, he kept on driving it at an angle too. It was weird. But
I was waiting for him to hit something and the thing topple over.
Like fall into the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, what a lawsuit that would have been.
Like, breaking news, Cherry Picker falls into like 30 people at a pay-per-view. There were no survivors.
Oh. So yeah, Paul Heyman decides to lift himself all the way to the top of the Hell in a Cell and watch the match from the top.
Yeah, this wasn't even a handicap match, it was a singles match.
Yep. This was a singles match all the way through. Punk, it was very back and forth. I was afraid a lot of times. One of the things that cringed me out, it made me and John cringe a lot, was when Ryback set the table on its side and was going to powerbomb Punk onto the side of the table. Me and John were flipping a shit. We were cringing so hard because we did not want to see that fucking happen.
He probably would have done it, and Strike probably would have been, it was Punk's fault that he landed wrong. Punk doesn't know how to land on the edge of a table correctly.
Let's stop name dropping, Strike.
Greg, I had the exact same reaction as you and John. I just kept looking at that table. I was like, oh no, he's not going to do what I think he's going to do. Luckily, it was just a bagging.
Yeah, and luckily it was just it was led to Punk getting dropped on his balls onto the edge of the table.
Do you know how much trouble Ryback would have got in if he actually powerbombed him on the edge of the table?
Or like he slipped and he just went straight forward.
Like that.
Punk's entire spine would have been snapped. He would have been dead.
I'm pretty sure if Punk recovered in time, he would have legit beat the crap out of Ryback.
Yeah, Ryback would kill him in a real fight.
Yeah.
All Punk's got to do is kick him in the nuts and then start kicking him in the face. Until the refs break it up.
Punk Ryback made it obvious that he went onto the table after a low blow. And Punk, went through the table and pinned Ryback via what? Did he hit the GTS on him or just cover him?
He hit the GTS.
Yeah, he hit the GTS, covers Ryback 1, 2, 3, and he goes after Heyman, in which I thought was much better portion of this entire match. It wasn't even a part of the match. Punk races to the top of the Hell in a Cell with a kendo stick in his tights and beats the living shit out of Paul Heyman with a GTS on top of the Hell in a Cell. Great way to end the feud.
It's probably not going to end.
Oh no, it's going to end.
Survivor Series will probably be the last show.
No, I think it's going to end.
They've already said the feud's expected to continue.
I heard that the feud's expected to end.
Not what I read. They said regardless of what happens tonight, the feud's expected to continue.
It's a boring feud.
It's gone on too long. Because I think the reason why it's gone on too long is because the feud is built around Punk and Heyman, but it's who Punk's been wrestling, which is supposed to be counted as like the series matches.
Plus, there's no marquee moments at all.
In the series feud, he's 2-2.
Yeah,
because he lost to Lesnar, and he lost the Handicap, and he won 2 straight.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna have to have, since you're all so high on series, it's gotta end the Survivor Series.
Huh? We'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Because I don't think they're just gonna let Heyman go, oh, Punk beat me, I'm done.
I mean, Punk is reportedly really injured, and he's looking to have time off before WrestleMania season.
Well, look who he's been wrestling.
Yeah, not the best choice, but whatever.
Yeah. The guy he's wrestling should be fired.
You should just rub some dirt on
it. Los Matadores with the new attire versus the Real Americans, Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro. Simple match. Cesaro's still doing the swing. I'm getting bored of the swing. I think they're overplaying it way too much.
Yeah.
It's in his moveset. What do you expect him to do?
But it would have been fine if he did it on occasion. but they've made it such a big part of his fucking matches. Like,
okay, they gotta get him over some way.
Yeah, I don't know, but it doesn't feel natural.
It's like when Booker T did the Spinaroonie. They hyped it up to get him over.
The Spinaroonie isn't a fucking move that's supposed to hurt the opponent. That's what the swing is.
That's for showmanship.
Yeah, that's for showmanship more than actually.
They still did it to get the thing over.
I don't know. I'm getting tired of the fucking spin.
And see, like, and you guys know, I love the big swing, but even I'm kind of like, okay, this is getting boring.
It's like once they had him do it on Khali and Hornswoggle, like, what was the point of doing it on anybody else?
Well, he still got Mark Henry and the Big Show to do it though.
If he couldn't do it to fucking Tensai, what do you think he's gonna?
He still did it to Tensai.
But it botched. He did like 3 rotations. He fucking fell down.
Okay, he did Khali like 6 rotations.
No, he did it pretty long. Went close to 10 on Khali.
I still want to see him do it to Mark Henry.
But yeah. Los Matadors win. I'm liking their new attire. It's blue and gold.
Ooh.
It's shiny and I like it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
World Heavyweight Championship title match. John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio.
Here's the only thing I have to say. One thing. And I'm sure if What's-His-Face was in here, he'd be correcting me. But I only have one thing to say. Steroids.
Yeah.
Cena no-sold his arm injury the entire match.
Typical Cena match.
It was a typical Cena match. Even with the Armbreaker connected, he no-sold the fuck out of it.
Do you honestly expect Cena to sell everything?
He sold nothing. I at least want him to sell something.
He's got to look invincible. But guys, it was his big comeback match. He's been gone a full 2 months.
Winner of the match, John Cena. I'd like to note that John Cena is 2 World Heavyweight Championships away from the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
And it's funny because everybody thought Triple H was going to break his record.
Yeah.
Because he kept putting himself with the title.
Yeah.
Instead, it's going to be John Cena.
No, I don't see John Cena.
John Cena's going to win the title at least 4 more times.
No, he's
Probably.
not. No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not. I'm putting money down. He has a chance to win it 1 more time. He's not going to win it more than once.
Yeah, he's going to win it at least 4 more times.
No, he's not.
As long as he's in the main event, yes, he is.
He's not.
As long as he's their top draw,
he's not going to win the championship.
Yeah, yes, he is.
He will win it 1 more time. Maybe the WWE Championship. He will not win it more than once. Because for how many injuries Cena has, for how long he's been wrestling, yeah, he's the top draw. He's going to have Jericho's contract by the end of next year.
No, because
he will be wrestling Jericho's schedule by the end of this year. He'll just be in the main event during those times, but not against the title. He'll be booked into more planned out feuds rather than in the title. He'll be booked in feuds to get people over, I think.
Do you know that he never gives up and he never surrenders?
Yeah, I definitely think, but this is a time for I know you guys are sick and tired of me saying it, but when Triple H gets in charge, he will not be giving John Cena the title anymore unless he definitely 100% has to. He will not give John Cena the title anymore.
Breaking news. John Cena will be champion next year.
I'm saying, John Cena has the opportunity to be a champion 1 more time. He will not go over Ric Flair's
He will go over Ric Flair.
I will put $100 on it. I am that sure of it.
Well, sadly for you, I don't care about wrestling that much to put money on it.
I am so fucking sure about it. He could win the title 1 more time. He could either tie with Ric Flair's record, or he's not going over it.
He's going over.
He's not. Okay. So John Cena's
You
win.
know what they're gonna do? He's gonna lose the belt. 3 months later, he's gonna go, I want the title.
No.
And then they're gonna go, oh, can Cena overcome the odds? Can he overcome the odds? He's an underdog, like they did for the last 2 months. Oh, he's been gone for 6 years, quote unquote.
No, I'm sorry. Not gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
No. Okay. So what do you guys think about him winning the World Heavyweight Champion? Who is he going to continue the feud with? Do you think they're going to continue trying to get Del Rio over Cena? Maybe because he is lacking on heat, and I know that they've been wanting to make SmackDown a little bit stronger.
Well, what I think's going to happen, in all honesty, because Del Rio gets a rematch, which is probably going to happen maybe at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And Survivor Series is going to be in John Cena's hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm thinking is going to actually happen. I think they're going to have Sandow cash in.
Okay, we've been saying that for the past 3 pay-per-views, though.
Well, yeah, but I think this is like where it explodes, though, because this is John Cena's hometown. You know, he doesn't really have a losing record in his own hometown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I think is going to happen. I'm probably wrong, but YOLO.
Right, I can see that happening.
Yeah. We'll see. And AJ versus Brie Bella for the WWE Divas title match. The match I was worrying about the most because I was so afraid
Yup.
that Brie was gonna win it just so she could walk out with Daniel Bryan with the belt, and it would be all this lovey-dovey shit, and oh, we're the power couple, blah 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 blah. That didn't happen. But what happened was Brie accidentally knocks out Nikki. I still think that maybe they're gonna go forward with this. It's
They
just.
should, I hope Nikki has a concussion.
Shut up. Do you know how
What?
bad that is, Mike?
No, for one, the Bellas are one of the 2 of the worst women wrestlers in the company.
They don't even sound like women. I made that point multiple times, but continue.
Well, Tamina Snuka's more of a man than a woman anyway.
Apparently, she's a lot more gorgeous in person than on TV.
Oh, what?
True statement.
How
I can attest to that.
How can you be more gorgeous in person than on TV?
I know. I hear a lot of people say she's gorgeous in person.
She really is, honestly.
Well, you're retarded.
Nah.
And I mean that in the nicest way. Yeah, it could be worse. She could be that one queer from Florida. Too soon?
What?
No?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh my
What
god.
are you talking about?
Someone from
Like, say
Florida?
what?
Who?
I'll message you later, Greg. I'm not gonna put it in chat.
Wait, who's from Florida?
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Okay, yeah, we're not talking about that guy.
Oh.
Not until after the podcast. If you're listening to this, we're not talking about you after the podcast. Okay. AJ wins. She retains with the Black Widow.
Yeah. Thank God.
We get the best segment ever with Bob Backlund and the Primetime Players promoting WWE 2K14.
Yep. They sold me on that game.
They sold me hardcore on that game. Bob Backlund's like, why do I want to let these kids? They should be studying and doing something with their lives.
Reading, writing, arithmetic.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, you're not gonna buy that game because Bob Backlund showed up and promoted it.
Fuck yes, he sold me on it.
That makes me more excited to pick up my copy on Tuesday.
Did you see his shirt? He was sweating so fucking bad. His entire shirt was like transparent. It was funny.
More importantly, I want Bob Backlund to manage the Primetime Players.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
You see this gay guy here? He's over. He will get you to the top. Giggity.
Hell in a Cell for the vacant WWE title. Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton. Guys, what did you think of this match?
I was expecting more.
You were expecting... Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't take it up a notch. That's
one of the bigger spots that was supposed to happen, they kind of failed on. The spot that I'm talking about is, of course, the spot where Orton suplexed Daniel Bryan from the top rope into the pile of chairs. But what they didn't expect was the pile of chairs was in the middle of the ring, and Bryan is a small fuck.
Well, Bryan should be bigger.
Only Bryan's legs hit the chairs, and he was trying to sell it, but he knew that he didn't hit the chairs. So it seemed.
I thought it was because they weren't close enough.
What, chairs?
No, yeah, the chairs weren't close enough.
Yeah, they weren't close enough.
That's what we said.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
That's not Bryan and Orton's fault.
No, Bryan was trying to sell it, but he knew that he didn't hit the chairs. That's why it seemed a little awkward when he was trying to sell it.
That probably would have hurt too.
Oh, it would have hurt like a bitch. You kidding me? Fucking entire fucking super. Oh man, I can't even imagine the pain. But everything else, I don't know. It seemed like the rest of their matches. They did the Hell in a Cell was really not a factor because it didn't keep anybody out. Triple H got in.
Do you honestly expect every time there's a main event like this? Do you honestly expect somebody to stay out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It never happens.
Like it's either whoever's in the ring, like the referee is in on it, or somebody comes in.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a difference.
I guess we could talk about the ending.
Screwjob.
Screwjob.
In what we've been talking about.
Make sure you explain to the viewing audience what a screw job is.
Okay. A screw job is essentially an inside job. That's usually either someone in management or someone as a referee interferes in a match they're not supposed to be a part of. Right? Right.
Yeah.
The Montreal, that's why they call the Montreal screw job what it is. Because both Vince and Earl Hebner screwed Brett over.
Exactly.
So, when...
I thought that was just a knee-jerk reaction.
So let's talk about what led to this, essentially.
I missed this, so you guys go ahead and talk about it.
Bryan blocks an RKO from Randy Orton and inadvertently shoves Orton into Michaels. Shawn Michaels falls down into the corner and Triple H starts flipping a shit. He calls for a trainer to open up the Hell in a Cell to go check on Shawn Michaels. The fans start booing, of course. Bryan lays Orton out with the knee and tries to go for a 3. The referee is nowhere to be found because Shawn is out and there's no other ref in the ring. While they're trying to open up the ring, Bryan's trying to wake up Shawn, essentially. But Triple H comes, shoves Bryan across the mat to go check on Shawn. And so when Bryan gets up and Triple H turns around and Bryan hits the knee on Triple H. Shawn stumbles to his feet, looks at Triple H who's on the ground, looks at Bryan, and hits the sweet chin music on Bryan. Orton takes advantage and covers Bryan for the win. I would like to also note that before Shawn Michaels went for the pin, he hesitated. And even on his face, he had a look of guilt on his face when he was doing the pin.
Was it the blank stare as to say he doesn't care what happened?
No.
Because usually when that happens,
he kind of nodded his head before he went down for the pin. When I mean he hesitated, he looked like he didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
He had legitimate emotion on his face.
He had legitimate emotion, like he didn't want to do the pin. And even Shawn left the ring. Like he legitimately did not want to be in the ring after the match ended because he fucking did a screw job. And before all this happened, when Triple H came down to the ring, Triple H was arguing with Shawn Michaels, who was calling the match down the line. He was impartial throughout the 20-minute match, or however long the match was. Shawn Michaels was impartial. And Triple H came down to the ring and was yelling at him, "Do your job." If Shawn Michaels was doing his job, why did Triple H come down to tell him, do your job.
It was a setup.
It was a setup. Triple H told him to screw over Daniel Bryan. That was implied for him to come down and tell Shawn Michaels, do your fucking job.
I thought it was a knee-jerk reaction.
But no. The other person, a part of this podcast, decided to say that HBK saw Daniel Bryan hit Triple H with a knee, and it was a knee-jerk reaction to Daniel Bryan knocking out Triple H.
What a knee-jerk reaction is something happening unexpectedly. Like if somebody grabs you from behind and like spins you and you turn around and you punch them in the face.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels had
that's a knee-jerk reaction.
Shawn Michaels had a lot of time to think about what he was going to do. A lot of time. Now, if his decision was made up because Triple H got knocked out and he decided, fuck it, I'm just going to do it, it was still a screw job. That's the definition of a screw job. Shawn Michaels was not supposed to interfere in the match. He was an inside guy. He was the guest referee. Referees in general, are not supposed to screw the talent over.
It reminds me of when he inadvertently screwed over the Undertaker during his match with Bret Hart.
Or when he tried to screw over Undertaker in the match in Hell in a Cell against Triple H.
Yeah. Or when he screwed over The Rock in the match against Triple H in '99.
There's many times where Shawn Michaels has done screw jobs before.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
why this is a completely different situation does not make sense.
I think I know what the reason behind Michaels going on with the screw job is that Trips was blackmailing Michaels like, oh, if you don't do this, I'm going to fire Bryan.
Yeah, something to that extent. And
so wait. He's blackmailing him.
No.
If he doesn't do it, he gets fired. He could just fire him in general.
But here's the thing. Again, this is just rumors, guessing. This is what we're guessing. We're probably going to get a light shined on this tomorrow on Raw. It'll be more explained. But yeah, plain and simple, the person who shall not be named until after this podcast is over was wrong.
Yeah,
and sorry that he decided to bitch and leave the call because he couldn't get his opinion out, even though he was wrong.
All I was gonna do is go back to Shawn Michaels 1999 where he super kicked The Rock in the face.
He can go to any match with Shawn Michaels as guest referee.
Oh, and let's bring up the match in 2003 on Raw during the match with Triple H and Booker T, where he almost cost Triple H the match.
Yeah.
For the World Heavyweight title. So every match Michaels has been in. Wait, I think he actually almost cost Triple H the title Judgment Day 2000, but it backfired.
Yeah.
It cost X-Pac the title in 1999 or whatever.
So
there's a lot of times, and why he says this isn't a screw job boggles my mind, and I hope that he tells me why he thought this wasn't a screw job again tomorrow, and not give me the same poor shit excuse that, oh, it was a twitch that Shawn did.
If it was a twitch, his Tourette's is very delayed.
Yeah. Like,
should I kick it? It's like his leg's shaking like he's having a stroke. It's like, should I kick it? Oh, wait, I'm gonna do it now.
And I've made my point on this a bunch of times. I don't care that Bryan. I didn't care that Bryan lost the match. I was more mad by the fact that this is the third screw job that has happened on 3 consecutive pay-per-views.
Yeah, SummerSlam, the Money in the Bank cash-in, Night of Champions, where he got stripped of the title because the referee all of a sudden set it to count fast, and then the night.
And Battleground. What about Battleground?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
No, Battleground wasn't a screw job. It was just a new contest. Because the Big Show interfered and nothing came of it.
Yeah.
It really wasn't a screw job.
It was 3 screw jobs It would have been better if you're going, and this hurts Bryan. While he's not gonna lose the reactions from the crowd, and kayfabe wise, this hurts Bryan like crazy. You're killing his momentum every single time that you're screwing him over. And what I don't like about this is that Bryan's just gonna win the title in Survivor Series if they decide to do a rematch. He's just gonna win the title.
No, I think the feud's gonna end after this.
You think so?
Yeah, they're not gonna push this feud a fifth match. No, fourth match.
Yeah.
They're not gonna push it any further.
We're gonna have to wait and see, but like, I don't like the fact that if they do decide to make this a rematch, I hate this entire ending completely.
What it does is it hurts Bryan to the viewing audience because for week after week after week, Triple H is telling... I got into an argument with a kid on this wrestling forum I frequent about this. Triple H has done nothing but bury Daniel Bryan vocally on Raw. Week after week, saying he can't win the big one, he's not good enough, this, that, and the other, even though he's won the title twice.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, for some reason, he doesn't have the belt. And the viewing audience is seeing this, and they're saying, Daniel Bryan can't win. No matter what happens, he can't win. Tonight is just another point that Daniel Bryan, for some reason or another, doesn't have the WWE title. So the viewing audience isn't going to get behind him because all of his efforts are for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So in reality, it is... Well, I know we hate throwing around the word burying or burial, but this is legit. He's not getting anywhere.
Yeah. He's legitimately getting buried by Triple H.
And if he does win the Royal Rumble, they're going to have to have him... They're going to have the viewing audience get behind him because they're going to go, oh, he's the number one contender again. He's not going to win. Because the champion will probably be Randy Orton. And you're going to go, he can't beat Orton for the belt. What's going to happen now? He's going to lose again. Why should we cheer for him?
Yeah.
So who's it helping besides Triple H?
Yeah, it's helping no one. There's no progression at all. Especially, and what sucks, because the rumors have been strong that Punk is going to be leaving. Who's going to be facing Orton for the WWE title? Big Show?
Cena. John Cena?
John Cena's going to stay with the World Heavyweight.
I see him losing it in 2 months.
Nah. Well, yeah, 2 months. Okay, what's going to happen between those 2 months if this feud's over? Who's he going to face? Big Show?
I don't want to see a 6-month Orton Big Show feud.
Yeah.
No, that would be terrible.
You got Ziggler.
No, Ziggler is still in the
doghouse.
Well, Ziggler already said he wants the World Heavyweight title shot, so...
He's still in the doghouse, though.
There's Big E.
He has to prove himself. I think the reason why Ziggler was on the panel was to get a little bit of proving ground. To get him out of the doghouse.
There's no legitimate faces to challenge Orton for the belt.
Yeah. None. That's why it was such a poor decision to do this to Bryan.
They should have let Daniel Bryan have the belt at Night of Champions. And just continue to beat the Authority. But no.
Yeah.
They just had to have him lose on a consistent basis.
They had to make him an underdog. That's my problem. And
nobody's going to get behind him because they see he can't win.
Yeah.
The crowd will still cheer for him, but the viewing audience isn't going to care.
Mm-hmm. They're going to continue to see a match booked for Bryan for the belt, and they're going to be like, how am I not going to expect another Screwjob? How am I not going to expect another, interference?
Yeah.
You're continually putting the message in people's minds, and while you're going to catch them from surprise, but you've already fucked up this entire situation.
And they're gonna see him winning tag matches against the Shield, which who does that help?
Yeah.
He's beating the Shield. He's already beaten the Shield like 40 times.
Yeah. Him and the Rhodes family. So
yeah.
It's nothing that's supposed to. Yeah.
I know. I don't want to see Daniel Bryan make Ambrose or Rollins tap out for the 42nd time on Raw. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what's going to happen. Because there's nobody else in the Authority for Daniel Bryan to wrestle.
Yeah.
So.
Should wrestle Stephanie.
So he can kick her in the face.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind seeing that happen.
I'd pay good money to see that.
But yeah, Daniel Bryan's push is probably going to go down.
Yeah.
He's done in the main event. He should have been the champion. He should have kept the belt after he beat Cena. But, creative are full of morons, and yeah, it just makes me wonder what they're thinking.
Yeah.
You got this guy who's the most over guy in your company, and yet somehow he's not your champion. Just doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, let's give a rating so we can move on to the news really quick. John, starting with you, what do you give Hell in a Cell?
I give Hell in a Cell a solid 7.1 out of 10.
Whew.
7.1?
Yeah.
You just couldn't say 7?
No.
You and your technicalities.
Hey, I understand why he put the .1 in. Caitlyn's side boob.
Oh, God.
Yes. It was
Okay.
10 out of 10. And Caitlyn's side boob.
Oh, God.
Wesley.
I'll give it an 8.1. You know where the .1 comes from?
That's generous.
Mike?
I'll give it a 6.
A 6?
A
Nope.
6.
No .1 for Caitlyn's side boob?
No point for Caitlin's side boob. There's probably pictures of her in bikinis online that you can go look at.
But, this was...
Side boob.
so sexy. Okay.
You saw like, not even half of her side boob.
Hunter.
Side boob, Mike.
7.5.
What's the .5 for?
That's half of her boob that we saw.
I'm checking Twitter. Oh, okay. Just tell him fine.
Why wouldn't you just say...
Okay,
Yeah,
I will. Okay, I give Hell in a Cell. I'm gonna agree with Wesley. 8.1.
What's the .1 for?
Caitlyn's side boob.
Like I said, there are pictures of her half naked on the internet.
But
you're
I can look at those all the time. You're
giving her a .1 for not even a third of a side boob.
Yeah, but that's front boob, Mike. That's not side boob.
She saw a little bit of armpit too. I mean,
Oh my God! Now I know what all those fetishes are.
Don't get me
Mike-
too excited now.
Mike can't appreciate this because from his hooga booga language,
Because
covered up our women.
Mike prefers the plastic Madison Rain over the plastic Caitlyn.
What difference does it make? They're both made out of plastic. My what? My fruit of the loom. My what? Run it by me again.
What?
My fruit of the loom language.
I don't even know.
Instead of hooga booga language.
I've
Well-
completely lost.
You like legit gibbered there, and I was like, what? Is
I
that
had a
in English?
seizure. I'm sorry.
I choked up. I choked up for a second.
Okay, let's talk about news.
Who's jonesed?
What? I don't know. Some fool. Hulk Hogan.
At least he knows what a screwjob is.
Oh yeah, brother.
Let's talk about Hulk Hogan.
Do we have to?
I think we have to.
Oh yes, brother.
Over. Jack.
Hulk Hogan remains a free agent following the expiration of his contract with TNA Wrestling last month, and the two parties being unable to reach a new agreement this afternoon on Facebook, the legendary grappler teased a possibility returning to WWE by publishing a photo of himself clutching a replica copy of the WWE Championship. His caption reads, "Thinkin', thinkin', thinkin'."
Well, here's
That
the
would
problem.
be so... Mike, how mad would you be if you beat Daniel for the title?
Well, here's the problem with this.
Mike,
Hulk Hogan was never. No, shut up. Let me finish. Hulk Hogan was never a grappler.
Well, that's what this article says.
in Japan was.
Here's the thing: if Hogan was ever going to return and have a match with someone, it's going to be against Ziggler. Here's the thing, and whenever a big, celebrity like this comes back, or big, old wrestler, they usually fight someone who's on the top mid-card, but not necessarily in the main event, and not necessarily, just a complete mid-carder. It's usually someone who's trying to break, and he needs to go over.
You honestly think Hogan's going to put Ziggler over?
No, he's not going to put Ziggler over, but he's going to have a match with Ziggler.
If Hogan doesn't lose to Ziggler, I don't care. I'm not going to be interested in that match.
Okay.
Hogan was
Mike, you never said how mad you would be if Hogan beat Daniel Bryan.
I'd be ticked.
For the title.
I'd be garbage. That would be absolute trash. Because you're gonna have Hogan come back and beat the biggest guy in your company for the belt. That'd be trash. People would legit riot for that.
Then they could sign Sting and have Sting and Hulk Hogan battle for the WWE title.
That would never happen.
It's also being reported that he's training a whole bunch.
He's not training. If training means flexing his muscles, then sure. Because every picture I see him in, he's flexing.
If there's 24-inch pythons, you'd be flexing too, Mike.
Here's a topic for Mike to rant about. There's been a lot of internal talk about the future of Ryback lately.
Oh, this walking piece of trash.
He has heat on him for several different things. For one, officials feel that he hasn't really developed well in the ring like they were hoping. There's a feeling that Ryback has actually regressed in the ring. He said he has a lot of heat on him for roughing up several different talents, most recently CM Punk. Hold on, Mike. Officials also feel that Ryback doesn't present himself well when making appearances for the company. WWE has gotten feedback on several appearances he's made over the past few months where people said that he didn't look too happy to be there, and this being before they turned him heel. One source described it as Ryback seeming to be annoyed by making public appearances. It said the bloom is off the rose with Ryback unless he turns things around. Vince McMahon has lost so much faith in Ryback that he may remove Paul Heyman from him so Heyman can move forward. They're actually going to de-push Ryback and push Heyman. When did you ever think you were going to fucking hear that?
Well, they need to because Ryback sucks. For one, he could never wrestle. That's why he was always put in these jobber matches where it looked like he was making it look stiff in the ring. He couldn't pick up Tensai, which, on the contrary to what some people in this chat believe, Tensai sandbagged him. It couldn't control his weight, which I find it hard to believe when Ryback couldn't pick up Paul Heyman at a house show. And Paul Heyman weighs less than Tensai. So come on now. The man legitimately cannot wrestle. And if these two trolls that we have in our chat were in here right now, they would go, LOL, he's not Ring of Honor. Well, guess what? And I don't care if they listen to this and hear this because we know it's true. Ryback cannot wrestle.
Oh, man.
And for a business that is match-driven, which means you have to have the talent to be able to put on good matches, he cannot. If he was in TNA, he would suck just as bad.
Yeah.
If he was in Ring of Honor, he'd suck just as bad.
If he was in Ring of Honor, they'd boo him out of the building. And I would pray to God that Kevin Steen dropped him on his head several times.
Yeah.
Or Mike Bennett pile-drived him on the apron so he could never wrestle again like BJ Whitmer.
Oh.
But Ryback legitimately does not have a single talent in his body. and people give him the Goldberg treatment because guess what? Goldberg sucked too. But the only reason why Goldberg was over is because he had charisma.
Okay, Mike, want to move on?
No.
Why?
You wanted me to rant, so I'm ranting. And it's funny that one kid in here will go, oh, Del Rio sucks because he's boring. Well, guess what? Del Rio can put on a better match than Ryback can.
Also, I'll disagree on the fact that Del Rio is boring. I'll say that for a while, Del Rio didn't add character to his matches. But he's getting a lot better at that.
Well, you know why Strike finds Del Rio boring? It's because he's not a jacked up Nimrod.
No, I agree with Strike that Del Rio is boring, but it's character, not in ring. But also, he hasn't really done anything new with his moveset as well.
He's done some new things. He added a lot more brutal kicks.
Well, brutal kicks, but like for someone who's supposed to be super proficient in grapples and lucha, you would think that he would kind of bring a lot of that to his moves. But
he was never a high flyer though.
Okay.
He's too big to be a high flyer.
Okay, but for someone who's supposed to be really proficient as a grappler, I don't really see him doing a whole bunch except for a lot of things that aim for the arm.
That's what he's aimed for then. That's his main focus.
But I haven't seen anything new from him either. It's just I don't know. I agree with Strike to the point where Del Rio's boring. It's especially his character the most, I have to say.
Del Rio's best gimmick was when he was the rich guy.
Yeah, when he first debuted.
If he kept that, then he would be fine.
But then they started doing "It's My Destiny," and then that went off the rails.
But yeah, well, he should be insulting people because he has money and nobody else does.
He should have stayed as the next JBL.
That gimmick can always be gold. I have money, you don't, you suck.
It can always bring it back.
Yeah.
They can go, him being the world champion gave him more money, so now he's rich again.
Mm-hmm.
As far as in-ring talent, he's way better than Ryback.
Yeah.
El Torito is better than Ryback. That's pretty sad when a midget is better than you.
Oh man. Mark Henry has a new look. He's down to 405 pounds, and he shaved his head, and he's expected to return to the ring pretty soon.
He's legit shaved his head?
He's legit bald. I will link you right now.
Guess what? New tag team Big Show.
Dude, he's bringing back the sexual chocolate gimmick. I love it.
The bald mastodons.
Here, Mike. Linking that right there. But yeah, he's looking pretty rapey. I guess.
Is he gonna come back and rape Caitlyn?
He looks like a mastodon. Ooh, now you're giving me ideas about Caitlyn doing a dominatrix on Mark Henry gimmick.
Greg,
that kind of gives me a boner. Okay, whatever. WWE makes a promotional agreement with MMA Fed. WWE made a promotional agreement with the World Series of Fighting organization last night at the end of their MMA show in Coral Gables, Florida. WWE World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio was interviewed. He plugged at the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view tonight and mentioned that he would be facing John Cena. So nothing really, different, but I mean, it's a move forward. If WWE's going to start maybe mentioning more companies.
As long as an MMA player does not come on and take up the main storyline, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
What's this? It's Gina Honest. Let's go. Daniel Bryan, the title of Survivor Series. Because as we all know, thank you for that. As we all know, the Rampage Tex and Tito Ortiz fight is off.
Yep.
And TNA wasted all of their time
trying to build that one matchup, which wasn't going to happen for like 4 months.
They threw him in the main event Mafia and Aces and Eights, and then Bellator took him off because they got too physical, and then it's off.
Mm-hmm.
They looked at each other.
So,
speaking of TNA, let's talk about TNA.
Dixie Carter should be killing herself right now.
Right before the show, right before the pay-per-view happened, breaking news was sent out that Dave Meltzer revealed on the latest installment of Wrestling Observer Radio that the Carters were looking to sell TNA. There's a lot of moves that are being done behind the scenes, Dave Meltzer said. No matter what anybody is going to say right now, there's big things going on behind the scenes as far as the future of ownership of the company. And at that point, God only knows where that goes. There's people looking to get in, and I think the Carters are looking to get out. They've lost enough money and all that, and you know that as far as what that means, who knows. God, this guy talks in fucking circles. But they've been looking to get out for a while. Now everyone is going to scream at me, but that's 100%. That's the stuff that they don't want you to know, that they're looking to get out when they didn't want to fund them anymore. So essentially, Dixie Carter's father, or Poppy, does not want to fund TNA anymore, and Dixie has no other choice but to find new buyers. So
how legit is this report?
It's a Dave Meltzer legit report, so you could take that to any extent. Here's my take on it. Now, this is what he said on the podcast. As I just read to you, it did not mention anything about WWE. It did not mention anything about Eric Bischoff or Jeff Jarrett. It's just that the Carters are looking to sell TNA. That's what I believe 100%. Because for at least the past year or so, from interviews from Jerry Jarrett, from Jeff Jarrett, Dixie Carter's father, can't remember the fucker's name. We'll call him
Carter?
Bob Carter. He's been looking to figure out what the hell he's going to do with TNA. He's been constantly taking money away from TNA. Every single quarterly revenue stream, they're taking more and more money away from TNA, and it was going to get to a point that it was going to be time to sell. I think that's what everybody was waiting for, and this is the news. I 100% believe this story. Now the other news websites are saying that WWE's interested, or Eric Bischoff and Jeff Jarrett are possibly going to start bidding on it, or even they've name-dropped Viacom for some fucking reason because they own Spike TV. I do not believe those reports. I do not believe any of those bidders has even come out yet to even think about bidding on TNA yet, but I do believe that the Carters are ready to sell. I think they've been ready for months. They have just been waiting for the best opportunity to do it.
Yeah, right. They've waited way too long. They're selling low now, I bet.
Because
they're gonna lose money on this sale.
I think it was. I think around June was what closed the casket. I think around the time when they had to start begging Spike TV for MMA guys and shit like that, I think that's when they started to nail the coffin down.
I don't think they begged. I think that was Spike TV saying, hey, we're putting these guys on your roster and you have to sign in the contracts.
I think it's a two-way deal. I definitely think it's a two-way deal. I think TNA was looking for promotional work with MMA, and Spike TV said, okay, fuck it, let's do it. Let's see how it works out.
Well, here's the thing. Bellator never promoted them.
Yeah.
Bellator never helped them out.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bellator's products were always after TNA.
Yeah.
And TNA, and Mike today is constantly plugging the crap that Bellator puts out.
Yeah. I think it was definitely a two-way deal at that point.
And it's not helping Bellator because Bellator's ratings suck.
Yeah.
I'd like to make an official announcement on this podcast that John Joe Hedges is going to bid for TNA.
Yeah, good luck
bid
with that.
£1.
Good luck with that.
That's more than what TNA's worth.
There's a lot of jokes. Fucking Woo's talking about starting a Kickstarter just to buy
That'd be
TNA.
pretty funny.
There's just a lot of jokes going around, but yeah, I definitely believe this report. I don't see any bullshit behind it.
I don't. If WWE actually bought TNA, do what they did. Do what they were supposed to do with WCW. Make it its own brand. Let somebody else run the company, but you sign checks.
WWE would never let that happen. They're control freaks.
No,
Just like when they bought ECW.
No. I said let them buy the company, but let somebody in the company run it.
Yeah. Like Jeff Jarrett.
No. Somebody in WWE run it.
Oh.
You can have the same creative team. No, screw you. You can have the same creative team. You can have everything intact, but the guy at the top is WWE related.
Eric Bischoff's still going to work for TNA.
The main thing with Bischoff is he has a production company that produces their show. That's what his role is.
Hold on. There was something about Jeff or Eric Bischoff that I was going to read.
Bischoff's contract is expiring. Or something to that effect.
Hold on. Jeff Jarrett regaining power in TNA and Bischoff may be done. As previously reported, the TNA talent were informed this week that at a talent meeting that Eric Bischoff will be working at home from now on. There's a lot of backstage talk that Bischoff will probably never be seen in TNA again. Also, as previously reported, TNA is launching a new TNA 24/7 project that will feature the TNA talent outside the ring and delve more into their personal lives. This is reportedly an idea they've had for several years now, but Hogan and Bischoff didn't like it, so it never happened. However, it's being reported that TNA founder Jeff Jarrett is slowly starting to regain some of the power and influence that he once had backstage, and that Jarrett is the driving force behind this project. Jarrett regaining power is also another reason why people backstage think that Eric Bischoff might be done with the company.
If Jeff Jarrett is the main guy in TNA again, barring him winning the title 18 times, it's good for business.
Yeah.
It's one of the best for business.
Because Jeff Jarrett knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Making
I said,
a second-rate brand. It's his business.
TNA was good when Jarrett was running things.
Mm-hmm.
It's when Hogan and Bischoff showed up is when it all went downhill.
Yep.
2010 was the start of the decline. Because they took everything away that made TNA what it was.
Yeah.
King of the Mountain. 6 Sides. What else? They killed off the Knockouts division. They tried to kill the X division.
Oh, I mean, that's something to report in future tour dates. They're saying that the 6-sided ring is going to be coming back.
And I think that was a troll thing.
Oh, was it?
Because a few years ago, there was a ticket site that had an event up for WCW.
Oh.
And as we all know, WCW is gone.
Yeah. Okay. Last bit of news, and we'll do Pop on the Botch. This is something I just found. LordsOfPain.net reports that the reason behind Sin Cara's absence from WWE television as of late is not because of any injuries, but because he's having issues regarding his visa, which he's currently working on getting renewed. Sin Cara worked WWE's recent tour in Mexico, but has not taken part in any other WWE live events since then.
That's the same reason why Barrett's gone, too.
Yeah.
I thought Barrett fixed his.
Yeah, hopefully Barrett's going to be repackaged soon. Okay, let's end the podcast. We've been going on way too fucking long. It's already 10:43 over here. And it's way later for a lot of you guys. So, Pop Up a Botch, we'll do that really quick. Please get through them quick so we can end the call. Or not end the call, end the podcast. John, starting with you, Pop, Flop, and Botch.
My pop goes to Paul Heyman for not falling through the Hell in a Cell. That takes some time.
I was surprised it didn't snap under his fucking weight after the GTNs.
Oh my god, that was so panicky. My flop goes to the cherry picker driver. Learn how to drive. And my botch goes to TNA for AJ Styles / Punk summer story. But done worse.
Okay. Wesley.
My pop has to go to Big E Langston. I'm really excited for him because he put on one hell of a match tonight, and I'm really excited for what he's going to do in the future. My flop was the ending to tonight's pay-per-view. Just ugh. And my botch was the Fandango match. It was dumb.
All right, Mike.
I have a 3-way tie for my pop.
Ari.
The first one is right back being depushed. Because God only knows we don't need walking garbage wrestling and hurting people. The second part of my pop is Big E. He can do things if he improves a little bit more. And the last part of my pop is TNA being sold because that means Dixie Carter will no longer be around to ruin a wrestling company. Praise Jesus. My flop goes to somebody on this podcast for not knowing what a screw job is. And my botch goes to 2 trolls on here for thinking right back is good.
All right. Hunter.
I got 2 pops. One was for this this chick had a costume last night.
Oh my god.
She was the Franzia cow. She had like this sweet cow outfit on.
A cow
outfit?
Franzia
wine. You know how they have bags of wine? For
Did you get a number?
For her udders, she had like 4 bottles in the bags, because they're box wine.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you could press down on the udders, and wine would come out of them. It was just awesome last night.
Fucking amazing.
And she was actually pretty good looking, so...
Did you get a number?
No, I already knew her, but...
You, sir, have failed me.
That doesn't matter. She's funny, though, so that was a good costume.
Alright.
And then my other pop is for being back on the podcast.
Yeah. Good job for telling Jimmy to shut the fuck up because he's not even in here.
Yep. Fuck Jimmy. But really, fuck yourself, Jimmy.
Yes, because he can hear you.
It's okay. When he scrolls to the end of the podcast, like he will, he'll hear it. Okay.
All right.
My flop goes to the predictable John Cena match that everyone knew he was going to win. And my botch is for the Great Khali. Just commit suicide already.
Okay, my pop, I have 2 pops. One goes to Big E. He's impressing the hell out of me. He continues to impress me. I'm surprised that they killed his push when he was with AJ so quickly and didn't put him on TV for a while. My other pop goes to AJ for retaining the title. I will always give my pop to AJ until she loses. And then my flop will be to the person who beat her. And my flop goes to, I'm going to have to put it with the John Cena match. Very predictable match. Super Cena reigns overall, blah, 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 blah. And my botch goes to the cherry picker driver. He can't drive for shit. Like, you think they would have gave that job to an actual person who could fucking drive that thing. Even the commentary table was making fun of it.
Because he kept driving left and right, back and forward. It's not rocket science.
It was so fucking hilarious.
I'm surprised he even pushed the right button on time to team it up on the cell.
Yeah. Okay.
That would have been funny, Heyman going, today, Junior.
But yeah, that's the podcast, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the Arc of Wrestling podcast. You can check out all our stuff. Go to twitter.com/Arc of Wrestling. Please subscribe to us on our YouTube channel where you are listening to this right now. If you'd like to be on the podcast, please message us on Twitter or just tweet at us saying you're interested and we'll get into contact with you. Go check out lagspike.tv. Check out everybody over there. New Legacy is going to be doing a stream on Monday at midnight, which is Tuesday morning, at midnight morning. Just be in their stream by 11 p.m. on Monday because they will be streaming WWE 2K14 at midnight launch release, and there's gonna be a whole bunch of shenanigans and fun things, and they're probably gonna even break the stream or break the game or whatever they do. It'll be fun. I will be there if you want to fucking chill with me. Because who would want to chill with anybody else except me?
Yeah, okay.
I'm the coolest guy on this podcast.
Yeah, okay. You're the highest guy on this podcast. Oh my God.
Where is it?
Check out all the rest of the streams. David West puts on a good stream on Lagspike on lagspike.tv. Go check him out. He's great. Go check out John's Tumblr, which is wrestling-giffer. .tumblr.com, something like that. I will put it in the description below. And if you want to help us out, we're looking for people who can make designs for us. I'm still need to get into contact with those people. I fucking forgot to message them. I'll message them today, tomorrow, whatever. But we're also looking for people who could do theme songs for us. If you are musically proficient and you've got a band or you can create something for us, we would love to have a theme song, and you can be a guest whenever you want on the podcast and talk wrestling with us.
I only have one requirement. You can't suck.
You could do whatever you want.
No, you can't
I can't say anything about it.
I can say all I want.
So yeah, thank you for joining us for the Arc of Wrestling podcast. Please catch us. When's our next podcast?
Monday. Next Monday.
Next Monday.
Next Monday.
The 4th. So please catch us then. And until then, we will catch you next time, everybody. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Go fuck yourself.